Hey K through 5th team, Merry Christmas. I hope you're enjoying the season. Thank you so much. I know it's so busy this time of year. Thank you for taking the time first to still serve and teach, volunteer your time. This is truly your act of worship during this Advent season, and our kids are so blessed because of you. So thank you, and you are a blessing to us just knowing that you're watching these, that you're prepared, and you're ready to teach. So let's start right away with our lesson. Go ahead and follow along in your email there. We will start right away with our carols, which have been a great hit. Just FYI, so for 11:45, so I believe Siobhan and Diane Dobransky, for you guys, we changed with Ike, we decided that we are going to be dismissing the kids a little earlier at the 11:45 service, rather having them stay all the way through communion. They will be dismissed before communion, and so you can take them into class. Go ahead and start on the Ranger game right away, because the worship team will not be ready to do the carols with you until after they finish communion. So go ahead, start the Ranger game, and then go into the carols when they come in. Okay, that's just for 11:45 service. Okay, everybody else, we'll start right away with our carols. This week is Go Tell It on the Mountain, one of my favorite ones. So make sure you get into it with them. They have lyric sheets like we always do. Pass those out. And then going into our page 2 Ranger game, just FYI, I had a hard time with our K through 5th graders at Grand this week, and during the game, it just set a wrong tone. We had the older kids acting up and cheating at the game and being destructive with our cup game that we were playing. Two things. One, make sure you know the game. Make sure you know the rules. Make sure that you are in charge right from the start. You guys are great at this, but I just want to reinforce that sometimes if a tone is set in the beginning that they're in charge instead of you, it will just, your morning will be, of course, off the rails. So don't be afraid to assert yourself like, hey, we're playing this game. If you can't play it right, we're just going to quit the game and move on, So we kind of had to pull in the reins a little bit this past weekend, and don't be afraid to do that in a firm and loving way, especially our older kids. I really put the pressure on them of like, hey, like, you remember, you are Pauls and there are Timothys in this room, and you need to set the example for them, like we've talked about in the past. So firm. Anyways, with all that said, our copycat game is this week. Very fun. One child volunteer will leave the room with a adult just for a minute. Everyone else will circle up, and one other child will volunteer that's in that circle to be the copycat leader. Everyone in the circle will copy all of their motions, but the person that's out of the room will not know who this leader is. When they come back into the room, they will stand in the middle of the circle, and while everyone is following along with this one person that is leading, the child volunteer in the middle will have to guess who the copycat leader is in the circle standing there. So that's how the game's played. Again, that's very rough, but go ahead and read through. It's really fun, you guys. If you get into it, you make the most of it, the kids will have a good time. So, all right. Page 3, our memory verse game. We're really pushing memory verse. We're going to be kind of revamping this in the months to come. But for now, something that we've been trying at Grand is they get a prize in the prize box if they know the memory verse. That's the only way they get a prize from the prize box. Otherwise, it's just so hard to discern who gets one, who participated, who didn't. If you think you have a handle on the prize box and you want to do it your way, that's fine. But this has been really great for us because we have had kids come back with verses memorized because they just want a prize. So it's a little incentive there. Same memory verses they've had for the past 4 weeks, or 3 weeks maybe. Isaiah 9:6. And hey, if they want to learn it on the spot, teach them some hand motions at the end or whatever, that's great. I mean, the idea is that we want them to learn God's word. So help them learn it if you want, if you have time at the end and they really want to do that to earn a prize. Okay, our rules, page 4, going into our video lesson, worship and video lesson, and this is something different. So what you're gonna do, Whitney added this cool feature. So you're going to start the video lesson. After it is done, keep it playing. We did this past week and it was really cool. Whitney has added in kind of a background feature of just like last week it was the shepherd, so it was like hillside with sheep, and there was kind of this light background noises that you would hear, in that kind of environment, just to kind of set the tone of the lesson. It was really cool, and it kind of gave this back visual for the kids to kind of look at too as they're teaching. Anyways, so just keep the video playing as you're teaching. It lasts for about 10 minutes. So if for some reason it's you go over that 10 minutes, it's okay. But at the end of that 10 minutes, it will start another little quick video for the kids to watch about Christmas. So if you are still teaching when that video goes right into it, just have your assistant pause it, just no big deal. Finish up your lesson and then press play again. Okay, so just to reiterate, in case you're like, wait, what's going on? You will play the video lesson in the beginning as usual. Up will come the image of the gospel curriculum image that you always see. And then it will go, keep it playing. Instead of pausing it, keep it playing. It will go into that background of, this is the wise men, so I'm not sure what the background is this week. But this background and sound effects and everything will play for 10 minutes. Keep it playing. If you teach over 10 minutes, go ahead and have your assistant hit pause when it starts into the video. When you are done teaching, go ahead and press play to finish the video, and you're good to go. Okay, it'll be fun. Trust me, it's really fun. Okay, perfect. After that video is done, we go into our Follower of Jesus page. This has been an awesome page, and we've involved some of our kids that want to lead this time. Again, this isn't supposed to be a teaching lesson. We don't take our time in this one. We move through it not quickly, but swiftly, and making sure that the kids understand what it means to be a follower of Jesus. So if you want a kid that knows this and is a follower of Christ, come up and help lead that with you, then that's awesome. Have them lead it and have them lead the prayer. Go for it. We want to teach kids how to pass on and how to evangelize on their own as well, right? Give them these tools. So don't pass through that page. If you have time for it, please take the time. Into our object lesson on page 8. Okay, so a couple weeks back, I don't know if this was the week that everyone here did it, our first week of Advent, we did gifts. We had 2 gifts out per service. So in your room, there'll be 4 gifts. You will only use 2 of those gifts. Save the others for the next service. If you're 9 a.m., there'll be 4 gifts out, only use 2. 10 a.m., there'll be 4 gifts out, only use 2, because the next service will need to use 2. You will have 2 teams, maybe 2-3 people on a team. They'll come up and they get to wrap a gift. They don't know what's inside the gift, but they're going to wrap it. Please take the time to just read through on page 8 what this is all about. It's so fun to wrap gifts, because what's going to happen is after 2 minutes, they have only 2 minutes to wrap this gift. They will get to open the gift, because you're actually going to tell them that this gift is for them. Okay, they're going to open the gifts. So there's going to be 2 teams, so there'll be 2 gifts opened, and inside the gift will be a picture. There'll be 2 different pictures, and they will hold up what's inside. One will be from John 3:16, a picture of God so loved the world, and the other one will be Fortnite. Okay, so idea being that they are given a gift, and which gift is better, and there's some questions here. Go ahead, like I say, and read this. It'll make more sense. But the idea being that this Christmas we'll be getting a lot of gifts and things, and the ultimate gift, Fortnite. I don't even know Fortnite, but when you told me that's the in thing, so I will go with that. And that is awesome, and we can desire that. But to really understand what is the greatest gift and why, and what would the world say is the better gift, because chances are most kids in the world would choose Fortnite not even knowing how precious this gift is of eternal life. Okay, so you're going to kind of explain that to them as they're opening gifts on Christmas. Remember, these gifts are going to break. They're going to get lost. You're going to get over them. Something new is going to come out. It's going to be old news eventually. But John 3:16, God's gift to us is the good news that will last forever, right? So that's the object lesson. Have fun with it. Let them just rip open those gifts. You do not have to save those boxes. So let them have fun opening them within reasons. They don't rip the pages inside, but you know what I mean. So they'll remember it probably, because we did this before a couple weeks back. So they'll have a good time with that. Okay, after our object lesson, we go into our small group time, breaking off into 2 groups. And then into prayer request time, make sure that you encourage those kiddos to pray out loud. Select a couple volunteers. Those 3 things. You can walk them through it, have them sit with you if you even want to. And that's all I got. So I hope you guys, thank you for hanging in almost 10 minutes. That was a long one today. But hey, we want to spare you a long meeting, right? We don't want to have you like come and meet outside of your time. So hopefully you've done this on your own time. Take time to really go over the lesson. And this is all on the Wiseman this week, I believe. Sorry, hold on. I want to make sure. Yes, it's a little different with preschool. So I wanted to make sure I was great. It's on the Wiseman and the Star, and it's just great. So bring out that inner storyteller in you and just have a great time with it. The more prepared you are, you will be so blessed. Make this part of your quiet time. Ask God to speak to you and how you want to share with these kids. So have a great week.